Hi guys. Today I'm going to talk about what all my favorite palettes are that I have that are really great for fall or that have quote unquote fall colors. So I guess the first palette that is sitting right here is my Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. And it looks like this. See, you can see all these mustard yellows, these olive greens, the burgundy, the fall colored purple, this orangey brown. This palette is fantastic. And this is one of my favorite palettes. I love every look I've ever created with this palette, and it's extremely difficult to work with. And so, yeah, the cost of this palette I think is $42. I'll put all the prices up here. So my next palette is an Anastasia Beverly Hills as well. I believe these palettes are $42. And then the Modern Renaissance palette. This is my first palette. You can see it's actually probably got the deepest dips that I have in any of my palettes. I've used this the most. This was my first palette. All my looks I've created, this is what made me fall in love with makeup. So you've got these burgundies, this orangey red, this deep brown, this orange color. Yeah, this is an awesome, these fall tones are amazing. And then this color Primavera is like the most amazing shimmer for the eyelid. Next is the Venus, or the Lime Crime Venus palette. This is the Venus one, and you can see it's got the burgundy, same deal, the rustic orange. Quite frankly, I wasn't around when either one of these palettes was first released. I wasn't into makeup at that point, but I'm under the impression that this is the original, that this is the palette that came out and kind of changed what was popular. And then Anastasia Beverly Hills came out with the Modern Renaissance, and you can see the cover of the Venus palette is basically, and this is called the Modern Renaissance, and this is the Modern Renaissance. So yeah, so this is, honestly, I think this is my second palette. This one is pricey. These palettes are $38. Next is the Ace Beaute Flair palette. You can see all these bomb oranges, hazelnut, pumpkin, obviously. I mean, these greens right here, this blue, this red, all of these colors. You can deepen it up in the outer V with this brown. This is one of my favorite palettes. I love putting the orange and the purple together. I love putting this purple with a lot of these different colors. And that's another color theory fuck up, right? So, yeah, the Juvia's Place, the Tribe. I love this palette. I love this color right here, but every color in here is basically a fall color. So you can see this brown right here is my favorite color. I'm just going to swatch this so you guys can see. It's really, really mustardy. See that mustard, like dirty brown? I love those colors. They just, I don't know, there's just something about the mood, the tone that they set. It makes me happy. So next I'm going to talk about my Kaleidos Cyber Bronze. It's from the Futurism collection. These colors right here are super fall. In fact, all of them except the silver, I would say, is very fall. And this palette is fairly inexpensive. I mean, I guess for how many colors are in it, it's not. It's $25 on its own, but I got it in the package, so I got the three palettes for like $54.99 or something like that, and I felt like that was really affordable. So you have to, the thing that sucks about this palette is you have to keep this because the names are on this, which is true. I mean, some of the Morphe palettes are like that too, but I just glue it. I usually glue it to the lid, and you can't do that with this. So it's just flopping around, and you have to keep it to know what the names are. It's fucking annoying. So get it together, Kaleidos. Fix this problem. This is the Ace Beaute Classical Paradise, and this is the fall palette. I mean, this is everything that's fall. I mean, it's literally like vegetation, earth, clay, harvest, golden apple maze. I mean, this is the palette that represents the harvest. When I look at this palette, I see fall. Like, that's what it is. And so it doesn't need any mentioning. I love this color maze, this yellow. I love these highlight colors. This sunflower, this golden like yellow shimmer is fucking bomb. And so this palette I think is $25. The Ace Beaute, I bought them all. I bought the Paradise collection, and I don't actually remember. I'll list it in when I edit. And the Vault Armed and Gorgeous, and we're just going to talk about it. These are both Morphe, the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palettes, Armed and Gorgeous and Ring the Alarm. Both of these are super amazing. In fact, I feel like they should actually go together to create one perfect fall palette. If I don't know if you guys saw, I'll list it up above, and I'll list it in the description box. But I did a look with this palette probably a week or two ago, and had never tried this palette before. I did the look because I wanted to put this palette in my fall collection video, and had never used it before, but I just knew, and I tried it, and everybody's talked a bunch of shit. I don't know why. This fucking palette is bomb. Every color that I used in this palette kicked ass. I mean, the look I created was so beautiful and like out of this world. I don't know. It just seems like, I mean, I can't tell, you know, it's the big Jaclyn Hill thing. It's like, or is it Morphe? You know what I mean? Is it because Jaclyn Hill got so involved with Morphe? Because it seems like every time Morphe has a release, there's some fucking scandal. Who knows? Whatever. People are fucking greedy. Okay. Just kidding, they're not. People are amazing. They are, and greedy. This is the Gemini palette. You can see this is by Melt Cosmetics, and this motherfucker's pricey. I'm pretty sure this one's $58. I'll list it. I'll bing, put it up there. But you can see these olive greens, and honestly, like, all of these colors go together perfectly. So basically, like, if you want to put Mochi with Lorelei, they'll mix perfectly. They look like they're not the same. They look like they're based, this one's based in yellow and this one's based in green, right? So orange and green, but they're not. They are a really strange mix of colors where they really blend together well, and you can mix any of these colors together without getting a muddy, mucked up bullshit mess. So I love this palette. I love every look I've ever created in it. I feel like so sexy when I'm wearing, every look I've ever worn from this palette makes me feel super sexy. So the Perception, Shayla, and ColourPop Perception palette by ColourPop. It's the Shayla, what's the word? Collab, Shayla and ColourPop, and I mean, whatever X means. Why do people say, they say Shayla X ColourPop? That's not what that means, but whatever. What do I know? So yeah, you've got your basic red, orange, brown, and a transition shade that's like orange base. So you've got your warm tone browns, and then you've got all these different shimmers too. It's a super simple palette, and you can create a really striking look. I bought this palette because Mel Thompson talked about her favorites, and she said that this palette is a good dupe for the Born to Run palette by Urban Decay. Well, I've looked at the Born to Run palette 100 times, and it never drew my attention. I don't give a fuck about that palette. But when she said that and she showed it, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was this blue, maybe it was this pink, this little pop of color right here. But I bought this palette, and it was fairly cheap. I think these ones are $16 for the 16 pan palettes from ColourPop. And sorry, I have ADHD. Actually, I'm not kidding. And so this color right here, Sassy, I just want to show you guys this because it is, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me turn my light down. If you can see that, it is an exact dupe for that, color in the Jackie Aina palette. I went into Sephora, I swatched every color on the Jackie Aina palette, and I came home and went through every color in my collection to see if I could dupe it out, and I couldn't. And the only color I could exactly dupe out is this color, and it's the color Sassy, and it's the same, it's an exact dupe for Sponsored. So yeah, it was disappointing, and honestly I bought the Jackie Aina palette for $38.50 on the 15% off sale. at Sephora, and then I got in a hurry. I was trying to film the look, and it was my first video. And so I thought the palette looked crappy, so I returned it, and now I've been kicking myself in the balls ever since then because I want that fucking palette, and it's a limited edition. I'm probably gonna miss it, so oh well, life is pain. So this is the Huda Beauty Obsessions in Topaz, the Topaz Obsessions. This palette is so easy to use, and I've heard 100 YouTubers talking about 9-pan palettes, how much they love them. This palette is like, I mean, it's just literally so quick. It's like boom, 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 and then a little shade in the corner, and then one of these, you know, it's just so easy. Obviously, you get the same look usually, but it's a very quick palette. And if you want for my blue-eyed people, if you want something to set your fucking eyes off, this palette, and it's super affordable for Huda. I'm not a huge fan of Huda Beauty. This is a pretty affordable palette for your high end. The Divinity palette, I've never actually used this palette. I can't figure it out, but I think I'm gonna do a look with it before this month is out, and I'll show you guys what I do. I'm thinking I'm gonna use like the green and the orange, or reddish orange, Aphrodite and Ocean. This color right here is really what, but that yellow right there, I mean, for me, that makes this whole palette. And I got the deal. I bought both the Strobe Cosmetics. I bought the Creepy Cute and the Divinity palette, and I got a deal. I can't remember what the deal was, but I actually waited to get the deal because I didn't want to buy one and then want the other and not get the deal. Editing Katie, I just wanted to let you guys know that I looked on the website, and Strobe Cosmetics no longer exists, and it's now Shroud Cosmetics. And the Divinity palette is still available, but you can only buy it in a package, in a bundle with the new Arcana palette, and the package is $75. It says you save $7. So I'm sorry. And obviously Creepy Cute is no longer available. That sucks. So anyway, just thought I'd let you guys know so you don't go looking for it. Okay, the next one is the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette. I've actually only used this palette once, but you see these fall colors right here? I mean, this is an amazing palette. The color story is awesome. I love this orange, this pop of orange, and I love this purple. So those two colors together, that's the way I wore the look that I did. And I love this brown right here. It's like a deep, like, oh, it's just a deep reddish brown color. It's so fucking beautiful. I love it. It's normally $42, and right now it's on sale for $25.20. If I was you, I would jump on that shit immediately. So the next one I have is the Morphe Boss Mood palette, the 35M. I mean, everything about this. I love these browns. I love all these greens. I love everything about this palette. These purples, the reds, the oranges. I mean, the way that they are together. I mean, you could probably create 100 different looks, and they're all fall from this fucking palette right here. So you see what I do? I glue this is the plastic piece, and you see the super glue. I just put a dab of super glue in the top, and then I glue those liners in so that I have the colors. But yeah, I love this palette so much. This color right here, this like goldy greeny shimmer, is like right there. I love using that for an inner corner highlight. So this is the Ace Beaute Grandiose Palette, and it doesn't look like much. One of my favorite YouTubers just decluttered it. I love it. It came in a BoxyCharm, but I didn't get it in BoxyCharm. I actually had to order this from the website, and so I don't remember how much it was, but I'm gonna tell you, this color right here, Cinnamon, I'm just gonna go right here. I love this color. It is like so much my journey. And then also like this Poppy is like, those two colors together are out of this world and totally fall. And then also this Primrose? Why does it say Primrose? Is it misspelled? No. Anyway, Primrose. That's it right there. Yeah, you can get the most amazing fall looks with this palette. It's bomb. I just wanted you guys to know. I mean, these are like, I don't know. I don't even know if anybody's gonna like these, but I figure like if you guys want to, you know, if you guys wanted to buy one palette, buy that Morphe Boss Mood. Morphe is not my favorite. It's not my favorite formula. They're not my favorite brand. But if you're gonna do if you're gonna buy one palette, if you just want to buy one palette, Morphe is super affordable. It's kind of beginner friendly, and you're going to be able to get a variety of colors in one palette for an affordable price. I think the Boss Mood palette is $25. I'll put it in the description box and also in the and I'll also list it up here. And then the last one I wanted to mention is the Natasha Denona Gold palette. And so I just think that these browns, there's just all these browns and golds, and then this mustard color right here is like my favy. And we're just gonna go like that. And if you can see that color right there, I fucking love that color. It's like just a hint of green, and it just makes all the difference in the world. So anyways, I love this palette. Also this duochrome right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's bomb. This palette is $129. I bought it with my taxes last year. I can't afford a palette like this. I had some palettes that I wanted for a really long time, and I bought them with my income tax return when I had the money. And so this isn't the kind of palette that I would just buy. I don't get to do that. One of these days I will, but not today. Not today. So anyways, that's all of the palettes I have. The honorable mentions that I have are the Urban Decay Naked Cherry and the Urban Decay Naked Heat. Both of these palettes are like strictly fall colors. I didn't mention them because everybody thinks they're boring, and they're actually pretty fucking expensive. If you're gonna go out and buy a palette, I wouldn't recommend going and buying one of these, but I love these burgundies. I love the Naked Cherry palette. Everybody's disappointed about it. I fucking love it. I want to get the Naked Honey palette, and I just can't fucking afford it. And then the Naked Heat, these dark burnt oranges all the way up. It's called Naked Heat, so it kind of implies a summer palette, but I disagree. I think this is definitely a fall palette with these oranges. And then I have two green palettes. So that's, I guess my honorable mentions are the palettes that are basically like one color palettes. And so the Juicy Olive by Give Me Glow Cosmetics, that's one of my honorable mentions because it's all olive greens. But this palette, this is a fucking killer palette. And honestly, like, it was out of stock. Like, you couldn't get it. Everybody wanted it. It's such a good palette. This green right here is amazing. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. My lights make everything look so goofy. I hope you guys can tell. Yeah, I love this palette. I love every look I've ever done with it. I love it. I've used it a few times and it hasn't even like put a dent in it. I'll have this for the rest of my life. The pans are huge. How much was that? I think it was $38. Yeah, it's out of stock right now, but it's $30. So, yeah, it's a very popular palette. I highly suggest it. I mean, for $30, if you love green, get on it, because this isn't a cool tone green. It's a warm tone green. So like, you yellow based neutrals can totally wear that without, and it will still like highlight your eyes and everything like that. So I love green palettes. And my final honorable mention is the Sci-Fi, let me see. Yeah, the Sci-Fi green by Kaleidos. And this came in the, I got all three palettes for like $54.99, and I just love these greens. I love this orange. This black is out of this world, and Kaleidos shimmers are literally something to scream about. So yeah, basically the honorable mentions are my palettes that are basically a single color all the way across, or like, you know, one or two look palettes. So anyways, my battery's about to die, and I hope that this was informative for you guys, and I hope that, you know, I had somebody in my class the other day ask me what brands I liked, and so I thought it might be helpful for people to hear some of these brands and like to know like where I'm shopping and like where I'm getting a lot of these things. Most of them you get online, but some of these brands I do get at Ulta and Sephora, which I would I always would prefer to get it from Ulta or Sephora because they have such an amazing return policy, right? I don't ever buy ABH from the ABH website because I can go to Ulta and Sephora, get it for the same price, no shipping, no hassle, and return it if I don't like it. But on the same token, I returned that Jackie Aina palette, and I fucking wish I wouldn't have. So whatever works for you. So anyways, I hope you like this video. Hit like, comment down below if this was useful for you, if you liked it, if you want me to do more kind of things like this to let you know like what brands. I know for myself, I've spent the last year researching brands, trying to find out and like listening for brands and like scrolling down in people's comment or whatever, the description box, like trying to find out what brands they're using and what works and what doesn't. And so these are all brands that really work for me. And so, yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment down below. I'll see you guys soon. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not gonna get started. I think I need to grab a snack. Yeah, I need a snack first.